Alright, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us. We've got something new today. We've got a bolt action unboxing for you. I actually won this in a contest at my local store. They had a great prize pool and I got lucky and got something that I wanted. I had been thinking about getting into bolt action anyways and was able to land this as a prize. So I really know very little about this. I mean, obviously I said that I had wanted to get into it, so I have been reading up on it. I have been looking at some things and trying to decide what I wanted to do. I think whether it's been chosen for me or not, I don't know, but I think we know what we're going to do. We're going to do some U.S. Marines. We have the contents here. The bottom of the box is blank. You know, just some cool artwork all around. I'm going to get the cellophane off of this to start to reduce some of that glare that we're getting. You know, I know these are 28mm scale miniatures on sprues. We're gonna have to put them together. In terms of building armies, I only know the little bit that I've learned from my research up to this point, and that's not a heck of a lot, so you know, don't get too on me here for not knowing a lot about the game, but I have some ideas. I think we're going to possibly do several videos about my process and figuring out what to do with this kit. I'm definitely going to build it up. I mean, I've already opened it up. I'm not selling it. I'm going to build it and I want to play it. But I need to figure out what I want to do with it before I start putting it together. So I think we might go through some of that process together on the channel, and you as viewers can give me some advice if you would like. This seems to be the most important panel on here. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it looks like in here we're going to get a second lieutenant with a couple of extra regular soldiers, a medic and a regular soldier. So this is our 1,000-point army list. So we're supposed to get about 1,000 points in this, and this is what the army is going to be made up of. I don't know how that relates to what we're going to actually see in the box. We should end up with 3 12-men units, it looks like, with these must be their weapons: 3 small machine guns, 2 BARs, and 2 shotguns each, a 37mm anti-tank gun, a bazooka team, flamethrower team, brutal weapon. A brutal on both sides. I mean, the person wearing it had to put a gas tank on their back, basically. If they got shot with that on their back, that's going to be the end of them. A medium mortar team and spotter, 2 30 cal MMG teams, and an M3 half track. I love half tracks. Whether they're good in game or not, I have no idea. But in watching World War II movies and documentaries, I just think it's the coolest looking vehicle. You know, it's not heavy armor. It's probably not going to stand up to much, but I'd like to see what it can do in the game. Now, one thing that I have seen, it seems like WWII does a great job of filling the box, which sometimes when you buy some games, there's a lot of air in there, but they seem to do a pretty good job filling the box. So this was packed by Mirella. Thank you, Mirella. I am sure you did a great job. So the top here, wrapped in some plastic, it's actually in a Ziploc, so we can open that up. Here, when we move that off to the side. See if we can focus in on the sprue here. So this looks like it's the half track. You know, I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to talk much about it. So these are obviously the tracks and the wheels. We can see some side panels, the hood, other bits and bobs, a winch. We also have, it looks like the main base. Looks like the driver, some gear, steering wheel, some of the machine guns. It's very cool. So that's our half track. Let's see. So we have a couple of what looks like our weapons sprues. So again, I cannot name all of these weapons off for you. This is a bazooka, I know that. This rifle has a scope on it, so I'm assuming that's the sniper rifle. But yeah, and it looks like this is probably a shotgun, which they were talking about. This looks like it's some sort of a small machine gun. It's very cool. That's our weapons sprue. We got a couple of those so far, anyways. Then there's this. It's like we have a lot of, let's see, these all look like they're the same. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these sprues. So I think we can get some of these out of the way. So with the sprue, it looks like we have 6 minis on the sprue with different weapons choices. So these weapons are, most of them, they're holding them. I guess the weapon sprues are just for other poses and things like that. Some legs, other weapons, a backpack, other gear, a whole bunch of different heads. Looks like 10 different heads for the 6 guys, so lots of variety. So I guess the most similar game that I played to this would be Star Wars Legion. With those, the minis and the sprues, there is some variety, but this seems like it's very mix and match to me. We'll see when I get to building it, but it seems much more mix and match than the Star Wars Legion. Star Wars Legion, it's pretty much these parts go with this guy. You've got this one option, but that's about it. This seems a lot more variable than that, which is cool. We'll have to see how it goes with me putting them together. I assume it's not much more difficult than the Legion ones. See what else we have in the box. We have a card for the half track. Looks like we have a bunch of bases, so we've got 10, 20, 30, 45 of these round bases. That's a little intimidating. There's a lot of minis to put together. And we have more bases here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 of these longer bases. One larger base. We have some decals for the half track. Looks like there's some different options there. We have instructions for the half track. And so we have a guide for the sprues. tells us what all the different parts are, so that should help in terms of fitting out my characters. And then something for the weapon sprue. And then, so this looks like it's some sort of a damage marker or markers. And then it looks like we have a bunch of metal parts. So I am used to the metal parts because of Victory at Sea. They don't really intimidate me much. I know I've seen something where some people are a little intimidated by the metal pieces, but I'm not. So this sub pouch here, this is an M3A1 37, the 37 millimeter. What did this say? 37 millimeter anti-tank gun. It was packed by Judith. Thank you, Judith. So this looks like it comes with 3 minis, and just like the lot of flash on these, which I'm used to in terms of doing the Victory at Sea stuff. I will have to hunt down, I guess, instructions maybe on how to assemble this, although it's not a lot of parts, so hopefully it's not too difficult. Just lots of different parts for the weapon. So that looks like it's the gun itself. Some wheels. Here's a couple of heads because 2 of these guys don't have the heads. This guy has his head. So there's one of the minis. Another one. And kneeling down. So this looks like he must be the loader. It looks like he's got a box of ammunition there, lying down. And these are the 2 heads for those 2 guys that didn't have their heads. I think just make sure I wash these, look up some instructions, and be all set with that. So this is U.S. Marine Corps 81 millimeter mortar team. Judith again, thank you. So again, this is 3 minis. Again, this looks like he must be the loader, or he's at least handing off the weapon. Actually, this looks like he's the actual loader. Doesn't have a shirt on. I suppose these guys were in the jungle, so they were hot and just trying to get by. And our fellow holding his ears. Shorts loud. And then the actual mortar in several pieces. Again, I just need to look up and make sure I get that put together right. And what else? We've got a couple more. Flamethrower and medic. Judith again. So I think with these they have to have at least one other mini with them, so some of these are going to be generic. This looks like he's our flamethrower. Flamethrower for sure. Gotta have some guts to put that tank on your back going into a live fire situation. Oh, it actually looks like it comes with a little flamey bit that you can add on there. Interesting. Some heads. Looks like we have, oh, so there are 5 minis in here, it looks like. 4 heads. This guy looks like he's wounded. He's holding his side or his leg there. He looks like he's in trouble. I'm guessing that this guy is going to be tended to by the medic. Not exactly sure. Or maybe that's a stretcher. It must be the medic or someone to go with the medic carrying a stretcher, maybe. Is that right? Leave it in the comments. Is that a stretcher that he's carrying? Then this looks like it's just a regular soldier. Need to take a little bend out of the gun, but that's not a big deal. Obviously all this flash needs to get cleaned up. And this might be the medic too. Looks like maybe he's applying bandages to our soldier who's lying down there. It's very cool. 5 minis there. And one more. I always get a lot of these little extra metal bits when you get the metal stuff. Just kind of goes with it. 30 cal teams, it says. It does say we have 2 30 cal MMG teams. So let's see here. Yeah, quite a bit here. That was packed by Judith as well. Focus so I can figure out all this. Seems to be. So what our weapon needs to get some. It's a little bent, but no big deal. And so this guy's got a bandolier of. So he must be the loader. He's got a lot of bullets over his shoulder. Got this guy carrying a box. So he must be a support. Well, this guy's definitely a loader. That looks like it might be the operator of the weapon. Maybe? This guy looks like he's carrying it around. And this one, he's carrying the tripod. So it looks like we've got one unit that's a little bit more on the move and one that's set up, ready to go. Then we have 2 sets of 3 heads each. And the 2 sets appear to be identical. My eyes aren't necessarily the greatest, and for me sometimes with these parts, until you get some primer on them, sometimes it's a little hard for me to pick up all of the details, but they look like they're identical to me. So this is going to be a journey for me. So thanks for watching. If you're interested in bolt action, if you know something about bolt action, please comment below. Let me know what you think about where I should head with this. I think I've heard that the BARs are really good with the US. But otherwise, I've got a lot of work to do. And I've got a lot of research to do to figure out how it is that I am going to set all of this up. It looks like an excellent project for me though. But thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. This is going to be a long journey for me. Expect more videos about all the other games that I cover, continuing on as well. But we'll get some bolt action going here soon. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.